You ever wake up one day and you just say to yourself, I'm really tired of not getting what I want? That is definitely a thing that happened to me. And the context would be that I had a person who would record some lines for me, this voice actor. And, they chose to not come back even though they responded to my messages after a while. And their excuse was that, okay, I'm studying for a test or whatever. Nobody studies for tests day in and day out. I don't believe that one iota. To understand my mind frame even further, you have to realize that I partake in the same activity and usually can complete the majority or all of my lines, which are always more than anyone else because I voiced the most characters in this, uh, in under 15 minutes. I mean, it really is not hard to do this, you know. So when I hear or read that, I get a sense of disgust. And it's not because I'm not understanding of people's situations. Quite the opposite. I can have a number of voice actors come forward and say that, I gave them days, weeks, because I know that real life does get in the way. The difference is that all the other ones would say, I'm doing this right now, I can do this tomorrow, yada, yada, yada. I get somebody else, they have a technical difficulty the exact day afterward. And I thought to myself, this is so inconvenient and so irritating and so frustrating. And I really can't stand the way things currently are. And it's because I want this one character to be voiced by a female. Because the character is female. I didn't think that was such a hard thing to bring about. And I know that subconsciously, when I don't have all of the lines for this project, I cannot. I feel a sense of let's wait, let's drag this out. And because of that, stuff gets delayed and doesn't come out when it wants to. And if it does come out when it wants to, it's after me rushing to scramble and get things produced. And even though I have 3 weeks now to get a deadline that can be accomplished, I know that in the current way things are, it's not going to be done. Or if it is, it's going to be one of those, let's take today and rush through all of it. Going into other relationships I've had with people, there was a person who, female, I came in contact with, and she indicated after making a post publicly that she wanted to talk to more guys or whatever, that she was getting messaged a lot and was having to respond to all of these messages. And when I read that, I thought to myself, here I am. I'm one person. And there's a whole wide pool for her to pick from. And it reminded me of when I was on Instagram and a female on there, or a woman, or yeah, a woman, I guess you'd call her, she was 18, um, said that she had been asked out after I had asked her out. So I don't know if all of these were after me, but you get the context. 10 times. I thought to myself, how many times I've been asked out here? Oh yeah, never. So I got this thing where I just said I'm not going to message her back, and I'm not going to really give it any more thought, because I remember the words of presidential candidate and current governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, who I call the hot dog vendor because he had the nerve to critique people as having lacking the skills to do certain jobs when he was the only contender who wasn't a college graduate. Um, he said back when he suspended his campaign, he was the first Republican to do so. It was back in September of 2015. I remember it like it was yesterday. That he wanted to help to clear the field for a true conservative to emerge among the crowd of this that 17 candidate field that Trump ultimately was able to defeat. So I figured, no, let me not ask out any more of these ones, or talk to any more of these ones that I know have a bunch of males speaking to them. Let me clear the field. Let me get out of the way. And really, this goes back to, and you're gonna ask, what do these two things have to do with each other? They're just randomly stitched together. No, it's this thing where I feel I'm giving effort, and that the only reason it's not happening is because someone else is not doing so, or at least not to the point that they should be. So I could just as easily say that, I'll draw this stuff out, I'll do it, and I will. I know because I've done it multiple times in the past for that project. All this person has to do is record some lines. That's something, again, I've done, and as a result, I don't feel as difficult to do, and I know they've done in the past. So, with that being said, I can't really give them the benefit of the doubt, but I do have to say, well, if I can't really see them as being decent for doing this, how decent am I for attaching myself to them? So, what I'm conveying here is that I'm done. I'm through with. I mean, I made a video a while back. It was called "Fall of a Socialite," about some difficulties I was having with some users that I feel really went out of their way to wrong me. Well, one in particular, actually. Well, I guess one was an administrator. The other two were just other. They were not powerful on that forum. So I'm through. I'm through doing this stuff where whenever I do a project, going and asking somebody for assistance. I'm through with going and trying to recruit people for things. I'm through with approaching. I've been through with that, but I'm not approaching anymore that I know is unlikely, which is what that big field is, because nobody should have 10 options they can explore at once. They just shouldn't, unless you're a celebrity, and that's kind of my problem. We make people out to be these big figures, and they're not. I'm just saying. So I'm really concluding and done with it. It's a turning point. That's what the best categorization I could make of this. There's gonna be a different level of progression from this point onward. Thank you for watching and have a good day.